Hi, well here I am again. Happy Friday. I've got absolutely nothing to talk to you about. I should be boring myself, let alone boring you. Well, little Miss Trixie, Miss Velcro Dog, decided to wake me up at 3 o'clock this morning. Of course I patted her and told her to lie down, but she didn't. She disappeared somewhere. And when I woke up this morning I found out where. She'd done a little whittle in the conservatory. It's probably my fault because I didn't get up. But you know, you're not in the mood, are you, for taking dogs for a wee at 3 o'clock in the morning, yeah? I let them out about 1 because I didn't go to bed till 1 o'clock. This is probably why I'm so tired. I'm just looking now and I'm thinking, has she done another little piddle? But I don't think she has. I think it was Grandma's bad mopping. I didn't mop it very well, I don't think. Never mind, anyway. So I didn't really feel in the mood to get up and get washed and dressed this morning, although I needed to because I had the dental appointment. So I did get washed and dressed. I'll show you what I'm wearing. Oh, before we go any further, you'll see my laundry basket because I haven't put anything away yet. I'm wearing just a purple sweater that I've had for ages and one of those sort of Indian style floaty skirts. That came off eBay, I think, if I remember rightly. As did the beads. Yeah. I have just been watching Crochet Nana. When I say Crochet Nana, it's N-A-N-A, not 2 N's. Well, there is 2 N's, but there's not 3 N's, if you know what I mean. And she was in Penarth, going in all the charity shops. I was looking to see if I recognised anything. I mean, it's like... She was saying that Penarth is stuck in like a time warp. But it has been, I was about 15 or 16 when I went down to Penarth with my friend's mum and dad. I always seemed to go on a holiday with them, didn't I? So we went to Penarth, which is near Cardiff, yeah. But I didn't recognise anywhere. Some lovely shops, lovely charity shops there. I'm like, why can't we have nice charity shops? Why can't we have nice places? Still, it's not long now, is it, till when I go? When I go on my, I think it's next weekend actually. Yeah, I think it's next weekend when I go to Prestwich. Yeah, looking forward to it. Need to borrow a suitcase so I can pack my bits and bobs in. It isn't so much clothes because I'm only going 2 days. It's more like I have to take the CPAP breathing machine, I have to take my scooter, I have to take the charger for this and the charger for that and the charger for my phone. I may take my Kindle with me, at least then I'll have something to read, won't I? Oh, that's nice. I made milky coffee for a change. We had some milk left, so I thought I'll use it up. Still reading my book, yeah. Haven't picked up a crochet hook. Haven't picked up a knitting needle. Haven't done anything. I sort of half nodded in the chair last night with a dog across my knees, or she was at the back of me. I tell you, one is Velcro Dog. That's the little one. And the other one is, I have got a voice and I'm going to use it, dog. Yeah. Oh, and now we've got a plane going over. Anyway, this morning I had to go to the dentist, yes. Different one because I wasn't going to see her anymore. Anyway, it turns out she's already left. He trying to convince me that I hadn't lost a tooth on this side. And I'm like, I know my mouth. And he was trying to show me this x-ray and I goes, look there, that tooth there. And he said, no, that's your back tooth. I said, no, it's not. That is the tooth that she filled. It goes up and over the filling like that shape. The filling on this tooth doesn't do that. I said, I've definitely lost a tooth. No, you haven't lost a tooth. Then why have I got a huge gap of 2 teeth wide if I haven't lost a tooth? Yeah. Oh, hello, Miss Trixie. Anyway, he started saying things like, you know, normally I wouldn't fix anybody else's fillings that somebody else has done. And I said, well, in that case, what am I supposed to do? I said, because the person who did the fillings is no longer here. Maybe I should have come back when she was here, but I didn't feel like letting her anywhere near my mouth ever again. So we had a bit of argy-bargy. Of course, I had to pay to see him. So anyway, he's faffing away, and he said, this filling that you're complaining about, which is one on that tooth, he said, there's actually decay behind it. So I thought, in other words, she'd filled over the top of a bit of decay. So I said, well, I'm going away next weekend, and I'm not going away like this. I said, you better take it off again and do it again. Well, I'll have to charge you. I thought I was past caring by this time. I said, just take the filling off and redo it. So he took the filling off, and he drilled out the bit of decay, and then he's filled it, and they are a lot better. But I tell you, I wish I was still in Prestwich. I had a brilliant dentist there. First it was Nathan, and then it went to Emma. Both of them great dentists. Yes, I had to pay when I was there, but I had what they call a den plan, which they don't do at this dentist. In other words, you paid so much a month, and it covered you for most things. It covered you for all your x-rays, your checkups, your cleaning, and your fillings. It did not cover you for any extra, you know, things that you had done, like crowns and stuff like that. It didn't cover you for that. But by and large, I never paid, because I was paying this so much a month. Admittedly, it was about £26 a month, but it's still better than me having to pay. I think I've paid out about £600 in the last 3 months to this dentist, which none of it I would have had to pay if I'd have been still on the £26 a month scheme. So if you work out, I would have been paying like 3 lots of 26 quid to get £500 worth, £600 worth, whatever it's cost. Probably about £600. It was 109 twice. 109 3 times, I beg your pardon. Yeah, 3 times. No, I'm getting it wrong. £49, £109 twice. 325 for the teeth, £49 today, and then another £125 to have the front tooth filled. I think that's around about 600 quid. I can't add it all in my head. But none of that I would have had to pay for, actual pay. I would have been paid each month, yeah. But that's kind of like money in the bank. It's like an insurance policy, isn't it, if ever you need any work doing, yeah? Maybe you need fillings doing, x-rays doing and everything. They're all paid for. But they don't do it at this dentist. And he said, well, your year-long guarantee, you know, kind of like went with her. I said, well, that isn't right for a start off. I said, when somebody gives you a year-long guarantee on your teeth, you expect it to last a year long, not for her to buzz off and go to another dental practice. So anyway, because I'd paid for the filling and because I'd paid to see him, he's agreed to guarantee all of the work I've just had done for the next 12 months. So at least I've got that out of it. But oh dear me. You know, why do they think we pensioners are rich? I mean, I've said this before. Anybody who now retires actually gets £50 a week more than I do, because I retired before a certain date. No plans to bring us all on level par. They're probably waiting while us oldies all die off, and then they don't have to bring us up to par. But we've still got the same bills as anybody who's retiring now. Yes, I know they've got to work a few years longer, but then again, you know, they worked it out that we retired at 60 because we paid. I mean, I'd worked from being 17. I had 6 weeks off for having a son. Because there was no such thing as the child allowance back then for one child. You didn't get paid for the first child unless you had another child. Then you got paid for the first and the second. But because I only had the one, I never got any family allowance until my son was 15. So if I'd have stayed home and looked after 2 children, I would have been okay. I would have had all the stamps I needed, all the things I needed. But I didn't, you see. I only had one child. So because of only having one child, no family allowance, my stamp did not get paid automatically for childcare. You know, there's so many anomalies that you kind of know it's got to be a man in charge of doling out the money, don't you? You kind of know. Because you think a woman would think about things like that. A woman would think she's gone back to work. She's been paying a self-employment stamp. So therefore, yes, she has gone back to work. She's not been a drain on the system. She's not been claiming family allowance. And the family allowance alone, my son was 15 before I got anything. I mean, that should have counted for something, all that money I didn't get. Yeah. I should have been in Parliament, shouldn't I? Couldn't have stood the strain. They'd have slung me out for swearing. I'd have been saying, that's not right. What about the older people? Yeah, all I get off the younger ones who are getting the extra 50 quid is, oh, we had to work longer than you. And I'm going, yeah, but you had 5-6 years out for childcare. So you didn't work longer than me. And they don't have to work as long now paying the full stamp as I had to do. I had to have 37 years, I think it was, of paying the full stamp to get my pension. Although they're working longer, they only actually have to have 30 years of paying a stamp to get their full pension. As I said before, there is so much wrong with our system. So much. And they say, oh, you can claim pension credit. No, I can't. I have a little bit of private pension. And I actually earn, I think it's £4 a week more than the cut-off level. So, but you know, if I had pension credit, I could claim this, I could claim that, I could get free glasses, I could get free whatever. Lord help me if I have to have all my teeth taken out. I'll be all gummy. I'll be because I won't be able to afford any more teeth. This is why I'm trying to hang on to these. Although they might look okay, but they're no good for biting. Went out with my friend to the cafe yesterday, and it's embarrassing because I had a cheese and ham toastie, and I could not bite through the ham. I was like, and I went like that, and this great big piece of ham came with me, and I had to pull it with my fingers. Very dainty, very elegant, Janet, yes. I had to pull it with my teeth to break it in half, because my teeth wouldn't chew through it. Yeah. I mean, on the odd times they've bought steak here, and I keep saying to my son, I can't eat it. I said, I'm going to have to get one of them things, like, you know, babies have, that chomps up the food, yeah. And he goes, don't be ridiculous, Mother. I said, well, I can't eat it. It's no good you buying me a pork steak, pork chop, whatever, piece of steak, because I can't eat it. I have enough trouble with chicken. Yeah, but I have enough soup in a bit, won't I? Soup and Moulinex baby food I'll be eating next, yeah. I'll be like a baba. One of my friends has just texted me. She said her husband's just been diagnosed as diabetic. He's like 20 years younger than me. And he is the fittest, healthiest person I know. He goes running, he does all this, that and the other. And I'm like, he's He's not a sweet tooth, he has, doesn't eat chocolate, you know, stuff like that. And I'm thinking, wow, how can he be a diabetic? There must be something in the food these days. You know, because I admit it, I'm a sloth. I don't do any exercise whatsoever. Unless it's opening my mouth to talk. That's it. I'm diminuting in my crochet. If you burned off calories doing your crochet, I'd be okay. I'd be burning the calories off, no problems at all. But he runs twice a week. He does all these exercises, he does all this. He has salad for his lunch. He takes a salad every day for his lunch to work. So I was just absolutely surprised when she's just texted me and said, guess what? You know, my husband's diabetic. And I'm like, no way, you know. I don't understand diabetes. I mean, I said to the nurse, what is it? She said, oh, your pancreas is stopping working. And I'm like, why? Is my pancreas got a shorter shelf life than my body, or what? You know? I imagined my pancreas would live as long as myself, you know. But your pancreas is closing, shutting down. And I'm like, yeah. And then I read another article saying diabetes has got nothing to do with eating sweets and chocolate. It's got nothing to do with that. So I'm like, who do you believe? You read another article that says, oh, you can't have this, you can't have rice, pasta, potatoes, and I'm like, what's left? What's left? Sorry, I don't like pulses. I definitely don't like the brown bread with the sweepings up in it. It sets me IBS off. You know, devil in the deep blue sea, you know. Eat this, that and the other to be healthy. Yes. But half of what you just told me to eat to be healthy, I can't eat because it sets me IBS off. As much as I would like to be not diabetic, I've had enough trips to the bathroom in my lifetime. When you get up to 4 or 6 trips a day, it's not funny, you know. And yet you're eating what you're supposed to be eating for your diabetes. Like, nah. There's got to be something wrong. Why more people have got it now? Every other person you talk to is either pre-diabetic, diabetic or whatever. I still swear it's whatever they're doing to our food. Oh, listen to the plane going over. Makes a change from Rosie, doesn't it? Actually, next door has gone out in his van. They've gone out in their car. So unless they come back before I finish this video, we may have a silent Rosie, because it's not time for the post. Obviously we didn't get any post because, you know, well, I was out with the dentist anyway, but I mean, there was nothing through the door when I got home. And we're not expecting any parcels, so, you know, Rosie would have been quite quiet while I was out, hopefully. One never knows, yeah. And I'm struggling with our back door. It's one of those you have to close it and then take it up like that to lock it. Oh, it must have took me 5 minutes last night to lock that back door. I mean, I've opened it now and I'm thinking, oh, why have I opened it? I've got to shut it again. I don't know. I've never had trouble with doors before until I came here. I have trouble with the conservatory door and I have trouble with the back door. Luckily I don't have any trouble with the front door, otherwise I'd really be knackered, wouldn't I? But they, you know, the family usually lock up at night before. It's not usually me who has to do it, thankfully. It's only when they're away. We've gone to some rock festival. Either that's the same plane coming past again, or he's got a friend. We live not too far from one of those little plane airports, you know, where people who are rich enough to own a little plane, yeah, you know, that type, fly over. It doesn't usually start on a Friday, it usually starts Saturday or Sunday, because they're off work, aren't they? So obviously somebody with enough money to own a plane is not working today. Yeah, I went up the seafront today. It was a nice day again, nice day. Not much wind today for a change. Lots and lots and lots of people. There was nobody for way till I got to actually the outskirts of Fleetwood. And then I started, you know, doing the dodging between the bikes, the people, the dog walkers, the children. I've nothing against people, but I wish they would walk so that anybody going past them can get past them. You know, not meander, sort of like, my friend would call it lollygagging, if you know what that means, like, ooh, look at that, ooh, look at that. Walking so slowly and stopping dead without warning to look at something. I mean, we don't have boats that you can see. We have boats that are like dots on the horizon, yeah? It's not like you can see something floating by and say, oh, look at that lovely boat. No, our boats, you need binoculars to see any boats. They're out there somewhere. The only time you never see any boats is if I go to Freeport, or as it's now called, Affinity. But the locals still call it Freeport. If I say I'm going to Affinity, anybody who's local goes, where? Where? You have to go to Freeport. And they go, oh yeah, right, okay. There are boats there. None of them are ever moving or going anywhere. But they are all parked up in the harbour. Yeah? Not as many as because I can't get round the other side. If I could go round the other side, go further up, I could see the majority of the boats that are in the other bit I can't see. But I would have to go up some road or other before I get to Freeport Affinity, whatever it's called. Yeah. So I would have to go up there. Yeah. I still belong to the Facebook page, you know, that does about the craft fairs and that. Oh, they're all, oh, this craft fair, that craft fair. But because I don't have a car, that's just out of the question for me. Out of the question. Somebody had suggested I put one of those. Oh my goodness. Yeah. At the cafe yesterday, there was this two women. One insisted on bringing her push bike inside, right? And you go inside and then you go out to the splash pool. And her friend had one of those great big truck things, you know, you put your kids in or your whatever, massive big thing with wheels on. I've seen them more in America, but now I'm seeing them over here. You know, where you pull your kids behind you, you know, you can take a couple of kids in. Oh, sorry about that. And she had it loaded up with all supplies, like ready for the beach and stuff like that. So she's meandering it, trying to get between all these sofas. I mean, this girl had gone past with a big push bike, trying to get between all the sofas and that in the cafe. And then she's here with this thing. And then they must have been in the wherever it was, about 5 minutes, and then they started coming back again. And I said, why bring a bike? Why not bring your bike lock? You put it outside the window where you can actually see it, you know. You can see anybody who's going to ride off on it, you know. Put it there. Why do you bring it in the cafe? I mean, it says no dogs on the cafe. It should say no bicycles as well. No trucks, no bicycles. And then there was another lady came in with an electric wheelchair. Now I know she can't help being in an electric wheelchair, but it was a whopping great big electric wheelchair, and that would not fit in between. Yeah, I know she couldn't help it. She had to. But she did the same thing. All the way through, all the sofas and everything, out to the splash pool. 5 minutes later, all the way back again. She didn't even buy a coffee or anything to eat or anything, you know. What was the point of that? Did you just want to go and say hello to some kiddies for 5 minutes and then make your way back again? Still, never mind. And then coming out of the cafe yesterday, I couldn't turn my scooter around because about 10 little boys had just dropped their bikes. I mean dropped them, I don't mean put them against the wall, stood up, dropped them. So they were on the floor, all in a great big ring of them, all on the floor. So I had to do about a 14-point turn, so I didn't run over them, to get back out again. Wasn't my day. Hasn't been my day today. I'm in a whingy mood, can you tell? Whinge, whinge, whinge. Although I'm not as bad as some people. After trying to watch some people's videos where it's just like a half an hour dialogue about going somewhere medical. Yeah, no, I'm always grateful when I go anywhere medical and I get seen at all. I don't, do a half-hour video whinging about it. They weren't very polite, please. None of ours are polite. Well, yeah, they're not too bad. I mean, my dentist was quite polite, and he was just like, when I was telling him the stories, like, well, that was in the past, wasn't it? You're in the future now. And I'm like, well, don't listen to me while I'm trying to tell you my story about me missing tooth, which he insisted I hadn't lost. It must be very different. I mean, I know I pay for every flipping thing these days, NHS, what NHS. But it must be different if you have money and you can go to a proper private dentist. The one who plays music and sits you down and listens to what you're going to say and does all your teeth wonderful, and you finish up with a beautiful set of teeth. No wonder people go to Turkey, although I never would. You hear so many tales about botched jobs, about veneers falling off, don't you, and everything. But you can understand why people take the option of going to Turkey, because they get a holiday and then they get their teeth done at the same time, or their boobs done, or their stomach done. But you hear such horrendous tales when they come back, and then they have to get sorted out on the NHS, But no, I wouldn't want to go anywhere. I have no intention of having a boob lift, a butt lift, a tummy tuck, veneers to my teeth done in Turkey. No. The NHS is rubbish, but I'll stay with them. Yeah. At least I don't have to fly anywhere, do I? I don't know what I'm going to do when I've got no teeth. I should be gumming you on my video. Well, I don't know where Velcro Dog's gone. She seems to have peeled herself away from me. Gone somewhere. Rosie is extremely quiet, although I daren't say anything too much because it might put, as we say, the mockers on it. In other words, be tempting fate, yeah. I need to do some crochet or some knitting. I'm just not in the mood. When you just go off everything. I've only got a little bit to do on this. Wouldn't take me. Well, it would take me more than half an hour perhaps, but you know what I mean. Wouldn't take me an hour to finish it off, let's say. So, and I've got a sleeve, and a full sleeve, half a sleeve, but then I've got 2 bands and a collar to do on my knitting. So, I'm very impatient, that's my trouble. Oh, here we go. We stopped. I'm very impatient, that's my trouble. I think I've told you before, that's why I can't have whips. When I start something, I want to finish it. And if I don't finish it in a certain time, I get agitated, because I want to start something else. And I won't until I finish that. Anyway, thanks for listening to me whinging and whining and carrying on. Maybe tomorrow I'll have something different to tell you. Bye for now.